Greetings, Poke fans! Michael here. Oh, hey, fancy meeting you here. What's that? Oh, why yes, I am wearing a piece of MandJTV merchandise that you can purchase via the link down in the description below. How nice of you to notice. Almost 3 years ago, like most PokeTubers, I made a video counting down my top 10 favorite Pokemon. And while it was well received, it had substantially lower quality than my newer videos do.
Greetings, Poke fans!
Michael here, and yes, my name is Michael, not Mand like my username may suggest. Ever since I made that video, I've considered my top 10 favorite Pokemon to be pretty set in stone. However, things changed when a few weeks ago, I made a video showing off an online tool called the Favorite Pokemon Picker, a tool that helps you pick your favorite Pokemon in a specific order. If you want to try the tool out yourself, the link to my video explaining how is both in the description below and in the cards for this video. In that video, I used the tool to select my top 10 favorite Pokemon, and I was pretty surprised to see that the list had changed quite drastically from 3 years ago. Because of that, I thought it might be fun to make an updated top 10 favorite Pokemon video. I ran a poll on Twitter, which you should follow me on by the way, and the results were overwhelmingly in favor. So, that's what this video is. I'm going to be counting down my new top 10 favorite Pokemon based on, well, whatever the heck I want. They're my favorites. So be sure to leave a like on the video, comment below some of your favorite Pokemon, and subscribe if you haven't. And without further ado, here are my updated top 10 favorite Pokemon. Number 10, Torterra. Torterra once held the number 4 spot on my top 10 favorite Pokemon list, but it's fallen down a bit due to, well, to be perfectly honest, I can't totally explain it. I was going to say it's because I haven't used him much at all recently, but then I remembered that I had Jarvis in my Pokemon Gaia Let's Play, so yeah, I don't really have a specific reason. But even if it has fallen down a bit, I still like Torterra a lot. I think it has a really cool design and a badass name, and I will always have fond memories of kicking butt with it back in my first playthrough of Diamond. The grass-ground combination may not be the best in battle, but I think it's really creative and a perfect fit for Torterra. Fire types are no match for its devastating earthquakes. Number 9, Luxray. In the old list, Luxray was 1 spot above Torterra, and that remains consistent here. Like Torterra, I used a Luxray on my team in my original playthrough of Diamond, the first playthrough I ever did with a full team of 6, the others being Staraptor, Floatzel, Lucario, and Dialga. I also used one named Gigawatt for a lot of my Platinum Nuzlocke last summer. Come on. No crits. Are you fucking kidding me? But in addition to my sentimental attachment, Luxray just looks so cool. Black and blue is one of my favorite color schemes, so seeing that combined with my favorite type, electric, just is so perfect. I also really like how just plain intense it looks. No one would mess with me if I had a Luxray for a friend. Not that anyone really messes with me now, but even less so with a Luxray. Number 8. Haxorus. So Haxorus was number 2 on my last list, meaning that the order of Torterra, then Luxray, then Haxorus has stayed the same. They all just dropped 6 places, but whatever. Haxorus is my favorite dragon-type Pokemon because of its looks and its obscene power. In regards to its design, I love reptilian Pokemon, so this badass lizard dragon with blades on its face is obviously going to be one of my favorites. As for its power, one of the first competitive Pokemon that I ever created was a Haxorus named Razor back in Gen 5. I didn't IV breed him, but getting the right nature and EV training him was all I needed for him to beat the absolute crap out of the Pokemon World Tournament back in Black 2, along with a Metagross named Optimus and a Rotom Wash named Biz. Because of that attachment I developed toward Razor, Haxorus will always be one of my favorites. Number 7. Talonflame. Talonflame is the first Pokemon on this list that wasn't in the original, since I hadn't developed a liking for Talonflame yet at the time of making the last one. But anyways, like Haxorus, I developed a strong liking for Talonflame after kicking a lot of butt with it. I've used several over the years to Gale Wings Brave Bird my opponents into oblivion, both in the Battle Mason and VGC, but it's also a really useful Pokemon to have in your party post-game in Gen 6, since it can both learn fly and has flame body for eggs. Phoenix, Henmother, and Captain Falcon have helped me a lot in my various Pokemon journeys. Talonflame also just looks awesome. Its design is pretty simple, but I think it's done extremely well. A fiery falcon that looks like it'll tear you to shreds then cook you with its own flames is just so cool. Well, it's not really cool, it's hot. But that sounds weird. Let's move on. Number 6, Gliscor. Gliscor is another new entry on this list, but even though it's new, I've always liked it. I think it's a huge improvement on Gligar and has the perfect balance of badass and friendly. Ashes was really cool and entertaining in the anime, and I even raised a few in the post-game of some old playthroughs back in Gen 4. But what really launched Gliscor into my top 10 favorite Pokemon list was using one in my Platinum Nuzlocke last summer. Metal the Gliscor was an extremely powerful member of the team who I really enjoyed playing through with. He survived all the way up until the very last battle before Cynthia's Garchomp gave him an untimely end. But Metal the Gliscor made me really like Gliscor a lot, and I definitely want to use more of them in the future. Number 5, Gigalith. Guys, Gigalith is so dang cool. He's not particularly talented, although I do like that Sandstream has made him somewhat more useful in VGC 17, but its design is excellent. The red energy-packed spikes look really awesome, and that face is one that says, "If you cross me, I will kill you." That's so awesome! The only time I've ever used a Gigalith in a playthrough was Peter in my Pokemon Gaia playthrough. But due to the unfinished nature of the game, he didn't evolve until literally the last episode. But it's fine, I'm sure I'll get a chance to finish it up later. Also, I wanted to point out that Gigalith's shiny is my favorite shiny of any Pokemon ever. The electric blue crystals look so awesome. I don't have one, although I have spent a lot of time hunting for a shiny Roggenrola in my Sun version and haven't found one yet. But I will. Eventually. Hopefully. Number 4, Breloom. Breloom is another new arrival on this list, and like Gliscor, I've liked it for a long time. The first time I ever played through a game with more than just one Pokemon was in my Emerald version, and my mini team was Swampert, Torkoal, and Breloom. However, I've recently been reminded of how much I like Breloom thanks to my Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness playthrough. I got very excited when I discovered there was a Shadow Shroomish. A Shroomish? There is a Shadow Shroomish! There's a Shadow Shroomish! Oh my god, I didn't know that! I can have a Breloom on my team! Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped right now. And while it was pretty weak for a while, once it evolved, it became a powerhouse. Also, fun fact, I named it Odd One after the Odd Ones Out, a YouTuber friend of mine whose favorite Pokemon is, you guessed it, Breloom. It's also just a very well-designed Pokemon. It's really cute, but it also looks like it'll mess you up with those claws if you're not careful. Because it will. This thing is the same base attack as Garchomp, and as we've discussed, Garchomp brings death. Number 3, Zebstrika. Just bit my own tongue, ow. Zebstrika is another member of this list that was also on the original, but unlike the other 3, Zebstrika actually climbed, moving from spot number 5 to number 3, which was bound to happen eventually. Zebras are my favorite animal, and electric is my favorite type, so an electric zebra with lightning bolt stripes is of course going to be a Pokemon I adore. I've used a Zebstrika twice in the past. The first was in my first playthrough of Unova in my white version, and the second was in my playthrough of Pokemon Gaia. I named the Gaia one Ponky after the little zebra toy I had as a small child that made me love zebras in the first place. I only wish Zebstrika was stronger, but even if it's not the best in competitive battling, I will always love it. Number 2, Vikavolt. Vikavolt is obviously the newest Pokemon on this list, But even though it has only been less than a year since it was first revealed, I have come to love it very quickly. First off, it looks so cool. Those fierce eyes, electrified pincers, and slick wings make it look just the right amount of intense without it seeming too terrifying. Because bugs can definitely be the bad kind of scary. But I also adore my Vikavolt named Havoc. If you watched my son playthrough, you know that Havoc came in very clutch on more than one occasion, including a particularly amazing time during the Lurantis trial, which I have talked about a lot on this channel, so I'm not going to talk about it again. But anyways, Havoc is definitely my favorite member of my Sun team, and probably will remain one of my favorite team members of any team for a very long time. Number 1, Sceptile. Sceptile is the only Pokemon on this list that didn't change at all from last time. It was number 1 then, it's number 1 now, and it's going to be number 1 for the rest of my life. Sceptile is my first Pokemon I ever had back in my first ever game, Ruby, and I crushed the entire game with him, including Flannery. Then in Omega Ruby, I got a new Sceptile that I named Blade as an homage to the original, except this one was capable of Mega Evolution. The best Mega Evolution, I might add. I love lizards almost as much as I love zebras, largely in part to my love for Sceptile. It's a badass big lizard with swords on its arms and a big spiky tail that could probably shatter trees with the slightest swing. And while it wouldn't shatter trees, if it did, it could just grow another one in its place because it's cool like that. Few Pokemon will ever come close to Sceptile's coolness levels, and none shall ever surpass it. So there we have it. That's my updated list of my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Although, as we've seen, favorites can change quite a lot, so who knows what this list is going to be like in a few years. What did you think of this video? Do you agree with my list? What are your top 10 favorite Pokemon? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe for more fun Pokemon content of all kinds. Alright, that's all I have for now, so till next time, Pokefans. Gotta catch them all!